Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. New information in the SEC versus Ripple case has come to light, which makes it perfectly reasonable to presume that XRP truly was, as John Deaton has stated previously, a sacrificial lamb, cast into the fire while Ethereum, of course, was given a free pass. So take a look at this headline from you today. Ripple v. SEC. Regulator files to avoid responding to requests for admission regarding Hinman. And so this is a new legal document that was circulating around the XRP community on social media very late in the evening last night. And it has to do, in part, with, well, there's a number of requests for admission in here, which I'll get into, but the one that was most interesting is the one that Attorney John Deaton fixated on, and for good reason, having to do with XRP being put on an SEC watch list. So, and it comes after a secret Bill Hinman meeting with a law firm that's a member of the EEA. So I'll share with you the specifics, but before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a legal or financial background of any kind. I am not offering legal or financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. Now, you may recall that there are a number of requests for admission that the SEC refused to answer, and Ripple called them out for this. And so this is just a normal process in litigation, as I've come to learn, and as many of you have as well, that to streamline the process, the court process, if there are things that are really not controversial, then you could just be on the record, both sides, plaintiff and defendant, and say, okay, we believe that this is true, and that would impact, if you just agree up front that this is true, it may, it could change the course of how the case actually unfolds. You could have a bunch of lines of questioning that would be completely unnecessary, so you can streamline things, and ideally the process wouldn't take as long, not as many research sources would be burnt, and so that's the purpose for the request for admission in a nutshell, just to make sure that on the things where there really isn't controversy, you can just agree on a couple things. Now, the SEC, being the absurd stick in the mud that it is, comically refused to admit that a video of Bill Hinman is in fact a video of Bill Hinman. You may remember this article from May 20th, in which I couldn't help but laugh as I was recording the damn video. It's the most foolish, stupid thing. But look at this headline from Cointelegraph. SEC can't confirm a video of Bill Hinman is actually Bill Hinman in Ripple case. They refused to admit that. It's just the most absurd thing. So they're intentionally trying to make the process more difficult everywhere that they can. So now, in this most recent filing that started circulating late last night, which was shared by XRP community member and attorney James K. Filan, they're just continuing to refuse to be adults. So here's what attorney Filan had to say on this. He wrote, "The SEC has filed its opposition to the Ripple defendant's motion challenging the SEC's response to the defendant's fourth set of requests for admissions, claiming that it has fairly and substantively responded to the requests at issue." Has it now, though? Has it actually responded sufficiently? Well, I'm going to go ahead and dispute that. Okay, and there's just a couple parts. I did print this thing up and I read the whole thing, and I highlighted just a couple parts that I found to be most interesting and relevant. Part of it wasn't that particularly interesting, so there are major chunks of this I'm just not going to cover because it's not majorly impactful. It really gets into the weeds. It's not going to be particularly impactful for the overall case. But there was a part at the bottom of this page, page 1, down here, which reads as follows, and this is also comical to me. "Defendants take issue with the SEC's objections to the term market participant because they claim it has been used throughout this litigation by the SEC and by the court. But there has been no agreement on the meaning of the term among the parties or any ruling by the court on the subject." So this is ridiculous. So not only has the SEC been using the term market participant, so they clearly do know what it means, the SEC, as an organization, has a definition of market participant, and I pointed this out, a couple weeks ago when this was when this is in the news and they were first arguing this, because mind you, they're pretending to not know what the term market participant means to obfuscate justice, basically, so that they don't have to answer questions that they don't want to answer. But here on a government website, investor.gov, you can see that this was written by, as right here where I'm circling, The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. Here is their website explaining what a market participant is. So they're just trying to know. It's another. They don't know if Bill Hinman's Bill Hinman. They don't know what the word market participant means. They don't know what that phrase means, even though they use it. We can't agree to. Do we need to agree to what the definition of the word is? Like before we can use the word is? Do we? They just don't want to answer stuff, folks. It couldn't be more obvious. And that's why I'm sitting here thinking, if I'm the judge, I don't buy this in the least. Now, the meatiest part of all this, and I'll get to it right this second, is what John Deaton focused on and ended up speaking about. Here, I'll make this full screen. I think it was page 2 here. Yeah, that's what I highlighted. So check this out. The SEC wrote the following, and then I'm going to give you exactly what Attorney Deaton had to say about this, because it's ridiculous. What he cites, there's just about a 0% chance that this is some sort of coincidence. It further proves, I think, and it fuels reasonable speculation that XRP really was officially offered up, or just cast into the fire as a sacrificial lamb. It basically, you'll see why I say that. So here's what the SEC wrote. And this is regarding XRP on the watch list. Request for admission number 294. Request for admission 294 seeks an admission that XRP never appeared on Ethics Council's watch list before April 13th, 2018. The SEC denied the request because, based on information the SEC learned after the court had resolved the defendant's pre-clearance motion, XRP in fact appeared on the watch list on March 29th, 2018, about 2 weeks before April 13th, 2018. So just pause. That's an important date. We're going to come back to that. March 29th, 2018. And then the SEC wrote, the SEC stated in its opposition to defendant's pre-clearance motion that XRP appeared on the watch list as of April 13th, 2018. This statement is technically accurate because XRP in fact appeared on the watch list on that date. However, at the time the SEC made that statement, the SEC believed that April 13th, 2018 was the first date on which XRP appeared on the watch list, as the SEC had previously represented to defendants. The SEC later learned that XRP in fact first appeared on the watch list about 2 weeks earlier on March 29th, 2018, as described above. Accordingly, SEC has fairly denied request for admission 294. So there you go. And maybe that's all well and true. I don't have a reason particular to dispute that. SEC said something that wasn't quite true because they were missing a piece of information. That actually could be an honest statement. But whether or not it is isn't what's most interesting about this. Here's what attorney John Deaton had to say about this. He wrote the following. After a quick perusal, something jumped out at me. The SEC says XRP first appeared on its watch list on March 29th, 2018. Why is that date significant? On March 26, 2018 is the date of the Perkins-Coie memo and safe harbor, which only mentions Ethereum. On March 28th, 2018, Hinman met with the Perkins-Coie working group asking for the free pass. And so Perkins-Coie, as he notes in parentheses, is an enterprise Ethereum alliance. So March 28th, 2018, Billy Boy Hinman met with Perkins-Coie, member of the AA, their working group, and they were asking for a free pass. How about that? But then, as John Deaton writes, the next day after the meeting, XRP is on the watch list, and then he writes, coincidence my ass. Well, damn straight. What are the odds of that? You're telling me Bill Hinman is meeting with the firm asking for an Ethereum free pass the very next day, coincidentally, the very next day, after whatever happened in that secret meeting, XRP is suddenly on an SEC watch list? You've got to be kidding me, right? So it's why it's another piece of the puzzle. You look at this and you just think, how could this possibly be chance? How could it be? Because if this is just another thing, like I've never seen in anything I've studied, excuse me, folks, I've never seen anything I've ever studied in my entire life such a string of coincidences. I just can't buy this. I gotta take a sip of water. Sorry, folks. I don't know where this came from. Sorry about that. But it's astonishing. There's so many coincidences. I can't find it reasonable to suspect that they really are coincidences. There's other stuff going on here. All right, this many coincidences don't happen. But coincidences are a real thing. Fine, they happen in life every single day. But a string of coincidences like this, I ain't stupid. STLLPID, stupid. Wasn't born yesterday. And then John Deaton wrote this. A year ago, I said it appeared a deal was struck. Clayton met with Gary Gensler several times before leaving the SEC, including the day before the lawsuit was filed. I said Ripple and XRP were offered up as the regulatory sacrificial lamb. Ethereum gets a pass and insiders win billions. Folks, perfectly reasonable speculation to me. What else are we supposed to conclude with all of the facts and circumstances, all these coincidences in air quotes here? What are we supposed to assume? And then comically, attorney Jeremy Hogan jumped in and he responded to what Deaton wrote here. And he said the following. I will never piss off John Deaton, ever. It's like fighting a pit bull for a piece of bacon. I thought that was pretty good here. So there you go. XRP magically on the XRP watch list. The day after this secret meeting. This seems to be by design. All of this seems to be by design. And what I mean by that is Ethereum getting a free pass and XRP getting thrown under the bus, including XRP holders as a result and Ripple. Unbelievable, folks. You let me know what you think, but I'm just not buying what the SEC's selling. Like, if they're saying that this is just a no, there's too many coincidences. I don't buy it. That would require the willing suspension of disbelief. Like, it's not happening. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.